Hello, welcome to this webinar overview of the business health checks for supermarkets. This package is available as a separate standalone product package, or it is part of the ESS BIZTOOLS Gold and Silver package subscriptions. What we've produced is a supermarket key performance indicator analysis report so that you are in a position to be able to evaluate the performance of your client's supermarket and then to do some comparison to other supermarkets, either through a benchmarking service or through direct comparison. Perhaps in your accountancy business, if you have a few supermarkets owned by individual clients that you discuss with them, having this review process undertaken in each of their businesses, and then you do an overall confidential comparison and then produce a report on the best performers, the average, and obviously the worst performers in some areas, and feed that information back to your clients. In the first instance, there's a definition page going through looking at the various components within the system. We then have the data required to be supplied by your client. You should talk to your client previously, go through this documentation with them, and ensure that they have implemented systems that this information is readily available and that it is able to be loaded onto this spreadsheet so that it can then be transferred through to your office. We'll just work our way through and have a look at some of these items. This is all of the information relative to a supermarket. Some of the information might not be available. But we believe if you can ensure that your clients can access this basic source data, the system will be able to produce a very useful report for you to utilize with your clients. I've now switched to the instructions for the key performance indicator report. This is the report that the system's going to produce for you to then be able to have a detailed analysis conversation with your client. So the information that the system is going to be able to produce is summarized in what is now on the screen for you to read. Sales have increased, decreased from the previous period, what the daily sales were, sales per full-time equivalent person, and so on. Dissection of sales into the various departments, details of the customers' postcodes, in particular the top 10 customer postcodes, sources of inquiries, gross profit analysis in the various departments. And the key to all this then is comparing it to the previous analysis like this that you undertook. And then if you can have it compared to other businesses, that would be great, or compared to other businesses via a benchmarking report. The benchmarking reports won't give you as much detail as this, but you still should be able to get some meaningful feedback to get a feel for how your client's performing. This information will really equip you, if your client's into the supermarket industry, to be able to really contribute in the management review of what's going on within the business. It is far beyond just preparing a profit and loss account and a balance sheet and an income tax return. It's enabling you to drill down into the figures and to be able to ask some questions or find the answers as to why various costs or other figures are varying compared to what they were doing in previous reviews or in your comparison to other similar businesses via a benchmarking approach. There's also this concept of analysing suppliers and trying to determine what changes have occurred with suppliers from one period to another. Perhaps if you've increased the spending with a particular supplier, or a client has, of course, that you'll be able to suggest to the client that perhaps they can approach that supplier to get some additional promotional contributions towards their businesses. Obviously, supermarkets are very difficult businesses to operate these days. There's a lot of competition, and supermarket operators can use every additional benefit that they can get to be able to supply products and services that their customers want at an acceptable price. So that's the supermarket business health check. If you subscribe for this product package as a standalone or as part of ESS BizTools Gold or Silver, you will then have access to a fully worked example of the supermarket's business health check so that you could use that as an example of the type of information that you could retrieve, and you could then have some meaningful staff training exercises to make sure that your team understands how this report can then be utilised to really add value to your client's business activities. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you for your interest. Have a great day. Goodbye.